G'day, Tom Garriman, sales representative at Apex Results Realty located in Burlington, Ontario. I operate from Grimsby through to West Mississauga. So it is the 24th of October 2016, and guess what? It's a monthly update. Actually, it's a bit more than a month. It's been the last 2 or 3 months now. So what we have going on, okay, historically low interest rates, not a lot of property available coming on the market, and what you have is not always, but quite a bit, bidding wars. Multiple offers on listings that are going up. It is now standard to offer in the body of the listing to say there will be no offers for 3 days, or offers will be presented on the following Sunday at 6 p.m. This allows the realtor to hold an open house, which allows everyone to go running through, and then all these offers come in. Does it always happen? No. Are all properties selling in 3 days? No. What is happening is a lot of properties are going quickly. Depending where you are, if you are in Mississauga, Oakville, Burlington, you will not see, usually you will not see conditions on the offer. If you're operating in the Hamilton area and you're looking more at a starter, there normally will be a condition or two or even three. I have put in one offer this year and they were talking about conditions. If you want to win right now, you try to go condition free. Now, I'm going to skip everything else. Where are we going? You know, we're coming up in November, December. The real estate market's going to slow down. It's still actually going quite aggressively right now. Not a lot of listings coming on the market, and that's going to help keep these prices up. Okay, where are we going? It's going to continue. It's going to be a decent market for sellers until early next year. Now, reasons why. Interest rates, they're not going up. Now, the government has instituted changes. They are attempting to slow the market, to cool the market a little bit, because Toronto, Vancouver, hot. Now, we have a ripple effect going on. The Toronto market is so hot, you can't afford to buy in Toronto anymore. So now you move out. Well, Mississauga is too close. But they put a GO station in Hamilton. And you can get a house in Hamilton for less than $300,000 near that GO station. That happened over a year ago. Well over a year ago. And everyone started purchasing. And the ripple effect happened. You started going away from Hamilton prices of, say, 210, 220. And now in that area, prices are over 3. Normally under 4, depends on the sort of house you're looking at. But if you want walking distance to the GO station, you're not getting a really phenomenal property or anything like that for the price you're paying. If you go elsewhere in Hamilton, I can get you a much nicer property for that value. Unfortunately, the ripple effect is carrying on, where further away, prices are going up as well, just from that one GO station in Hamilton. Don't see the market coming down. It'll slow down a little bit because we're going to come up to the Christmas thing. You know, second we break November at some point, normally it would slow down a great deal. The market's still decent, but it would slow right down. People would release their listing until the new year, and it would carry on. In the following year, not happening. I think it's going to be an active market when properties come up. People will still be looking. So the government's trying to put some brakes on, and it's not working. The only thing they're going to put a brake on the market, as far as I can tell right now, would be if there is uncertainty in the economy, if interest rates go up, or if the government comes about and says and negotiates with all the different organizations involved, and they go back to 10 or 15% deposit required. And if that does get announced, if they say, well, we're going to implement this change in 60 days, then in that 60 days, the market will be insane. So, sellers, list, get the work done. Nicely done, looks good, sells very quickly. Usually there are multiple offers. If the work is not done, if people are expecting to do that work, whether it's updating kitchens, bathrooms, you know, the furnace is old, the air conditioning is old mechanical systems are a bit of a turn-off and a slowdown. Not a huge one, but a bit. And all these things can have an impact on you selling. Now go for the long closing, because no one is going to accept an offer conditional on the sale of their property, at least not in this area. I understand if you go further out, they are, but those conditional dates are very short. Buyers, get together as much money as you can. Make sure you're pre-qualified to much higher than what you're looking at, and be aware or talk to your lender that if you see a property listed for, say, 200 and you put an offer in for 260, will they go with that? Or are they going to turn around and say, you have to come up with the extra $60,000 because we are only giving you a mortgage for the $200,000 property? Something to be aware of and to keep in mind. I've seen and heard stories of people getting burned because the banks are getting out of it. Anyway, moving on. So the government's going to put, or attempt to put, more brakes on, because Toronto and Vancouver are hot. If they go too extreme, they slow down the market. The real estate market across Canada is not top-notch. It is not the best everywhere in Canada. It is hot and is rippling out from those locations. Other locations are good. And you know what? That's absolutely fine to see a 6 or 7% increase. But when you're talking a 16% increase from one year to the next, those aren't realistic prices. Anyway, the government's got to be careful. If they slow it down too much, they stop the real estate market. Or they slow it, and then they can go too far, and then they can stop it. And if they do that, they're going to impact the economy even more. Because if you employ a realtor, you see the realtor. Behind the realtor is the lawyer, the realtor's office, all the people employed in there, the builders that are putting up new housing, and all the different organizations, again, that are involved. One real estate transaction is employing something like 30 people. So if you stop it, if you go from 1,000 transactions in a year to 300, because the market just slows right down, no one's willing to do any work, because you know what? They're not willing to do work, but they're not willing to purchase. They're nervous, or they're scared, and they're backing right off. So the market slows down. It's done this before. You can have an impact that will go on for 2 or 3 years after that, say that 6-month window where it slows. So my recommendations, sellers, get ready. If your house is not listed today or very soon, go for the spring market. Buyers, I've already said it. Get ready. Make sure you know what you're looking for. And if the place is not absolutely gorgeous with marble or the specific faucets you want in the bathroom, skip that. You can do some work yourself later. Anyway, that's it for now. I wanted to keep this nice and short for once. I tend to go on for about 13 minutes. And this is probably going to be around 9. So be careful. Oh, a last point. People look at me all the time and say, it's a hot market. The sign goes up, and the next day there's a sold sign on it, and it's gone. We're talking 1 or 2 days. Sellers, that's not realistic. I took a look at a lot of these listings, and the average time on market from the list, so at day 1, when they're allowed to have someone coming through, to when the house is off the market, sold, was more like an average of 9 days for the hot property. That may be a little bit lower. Maybe it's 7. Maybe the 5 or 6 I looked at in that one neighborhood the other day, maybe those 9 was a little bit longer for whatever reason. It could be shorter, but I would not say it's 1, 2, or 3 days. It's more like 7 days on average. With that, not every single house sells in that time frame. You still have properties on the market for 2 or 3 months. The new standard for people looking at buying and thinking there's an issue with the house is that house has been on the market for 7 days. There is something wrong with it. Not necessarily. It may not have been the right property for the buyers who went through it, or there could have been a glitch when it went on. I've listed properties and had glitches myself in past where you lose 3 or 4 days, which is crucial marketing time. But if you lose those 3 or 4 days, now it's only been on the market for 3 days, and suddenly buyers today, whereas before it was a month, it was 30 days, and there's a problem with the house. No. Because the market's so fast, if it's on the market for over 5 or 6 days, people start thinking there's an issue with it. Go back even further when the average time on market was about 6 months, way back when. Uh, People would look at a house after 5 months or so and be asking what was wrong with it. So take a look at what the average is for a house on the market, and then you have to cut that down to about a quarter, and that becomes the issue point. And houses are normally in the market for 45 days. It's been on the market for a month. What's wrong with it? It's got to be something wrong with it. Not an offer yet. Or again, it could be, everything sells in less than 2 weeks, but it's been on the market for 7 days. Why has there not been any interest in it? Anyway, consider it. Be aware of it. Don't be fooled with the artificial, the pump up, the boost of, oh my gosh, everything sells in 2 days. It doesn't. A lot of stuff has an interest. A lot of stuff is selling very quickly. You may need to move quickly when a property comes in the market, but you need to make sure if you're purchasing it, it will do for you for the next few years. Too many people are going to get burned that way. Okay, this is going to be a 13-minute. Something else has come up. Buyers to get in are now going to not just B lenders, but C lenders. If you don't have the deposit, plus the closing costs and some extra cash, do not purchase. Don't go to a lender and get a short-term loan of $20,000 at 9, 12, 14, 15%. It's not worth it. The market will exist as it is. If the market does come down 6 months after you purchase and you lose the equity in a property and now you're paying, 4% for most of the mortgage and you've got an extra $20,000 for that deposit you have to scratch together. At 11%, you're going to feel like you should walk away. If you can't buy on your own, and I know family sometimes steps forward and will donate or give you some money to help out, that's fine. But if you're going to a C lender, or even, I would say a C lender, or you're going to some sort of a private deal there, reconsider it, please. It's not worth it if things turn sideways and you lose everything. Anyway, hope you're doing well. Take care. Have yourselves a great day. Halloween is coming up. So be careful. Lots of little people out there walking around in Halloween-y type costumes. And remember, no matter what else happens as you're going through the whole process of life and possibly real estate, stay positive.